Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of the Committee Reads. I am your host, KaijuX, and with me today I have GVR, Bacon, and Joe. And today we will be covering match 168, Godzilla Jr. versus Maguma, written by Harley Jameson and banner by Tyler Treshock. The frozen tundra of
His banner's bad because they're under the wrong names.
Wow, Godzilla Jr. grew like long tusks, and Maguma looks kind of off. He needs to fill up those gaps.
This is obviously Showa Jr. and Millennium Maguma.
How'd you know he was going to look like that in Final Wars? I didn't know that.
I knew that.
Don't back check. Don't back check. Don't back check.
The frozen tundra of Antarctica was calm, the penguins flapping along the ice in the frigid ocean, rocking back and forth slowly. That is, until an emerald-skinned claw rose from the surface, gripping the ice and causing it to crack under the grip. The penguins started flapping and sliding away as Godzilla Jr. slowly clambered onto the ice, shaking off the cold water as he rose to his full height, belting out his younger version of the cry his father made famous. The Prince of Monsters had finally found a land to call his own after searching for a lengthy period of time. The young monster was scouting farther up north, where few other monsters dared come. Junior continued his trek on the icy continent, his sharp eyes scanning the surrounding area for any signs of life. There were none. Godzilla Jr. roared in triumph. He had finally found land to claim as his own and start his own kingdom. It was only a matter of time after this that eventually he would challenge his own father for the title of king. But first, he had to make sure his new territory remained his. Weeks had gone by, and so far nothing had come to challenge Godzilla Jr.'s claim on this new icy territory, which suited him just fine. With the dead killer whale in his mouth, the son of Godzilla made his way to his cave, finishing his meal and settling down. Finishing his meal and settling down to rest up a bit. Maguma had crawled up on the shore, its mouth bloody from the seal it just ate. The big-ass seal. While it rarely stayed in one place, it often found the cold winds of the Arctic more comfortable, and waddled further inland, its blubber protecting it from the harsh winds as it continued on its set path toward the cave's pass.
Junior woke to the sounds of another monster approaching, and he rose instantly, eager to prove his dominance over his new land. The Prince of Monsters marched out into the freezing cold, easily spotting the brown-colored walrus within the thick white. Junior lets out a roar of warning towards Maguma, making his presence known that it's in unwanted lands. The walrus monster promptly ignored said threat. He didn't really care about things such as territory or the like. Instead, the giant mammal, technically is a reptile,
Oh, yeah.
continued along its set course, causing Godzilla Jr. to give a shriek of rage. This would be the last mistake this blubber-laden creature made. His immature dorsal spines lit up, and Junior sent a blast of his undeveloped version of the atomic ray. The blast carved into the ice, forcing Maguma to the water below with a loud bellow. With a nod, Junior turned around and started heading back to his cave, satisfied that the other monster got the hint. In doing so, he failed to acknowledge the shadow under him until Maguma burst from the ice, using his massive girth to body slam the Prince of Monsters with a loud war cry.
His massive girth?
Yes.
Oh my!
Junior flailed under Maguma as it started biting on Junior's head, its massive tusks bashing against the younger monster's skull. Junior used his claws and slashed to Maguma's side, forcing the reptile monster, to ease up on his attack. I cannot get over the fact that Maguma is technically a reptile that looks like a walrus.
Right, because the dialogue of the movie refused to change that one piece of detail where they're scanning his DNA.
Yeah.
Oh, DNA AIDS.
Using this as an advantage, Junior let out a roar as he fired another atomic ray at Maguma. The force of the blast sent the other monster sliding along the ice, smashing into the side of the iceberg. Junior advanced upon the fallen walrus, ready to end this fight. Maguma trumpeted out as it charged Junior, headbutting the Prince of Monsters and forcing him to double over with a shriek of pain. Maguma reared up and bit down on Junior's shoulder, its massive tusks piercing his thick hide. Junior screeched in pain as he desperately tried to shake the walrus monster off, grabbing at its mouth and beginning to pry the monster off his shoulder, ignoring Maguma slapping him with his flippers. Junior heaved off Maguma and sent it sprawling back to the ice, this time going on the assault himself as he moved over to the downed walrus. The smaller Godzilla mounted his opponent and began raining blows onto the giant mammal walrus reptile thing. Maguma. The giant Maguma's head.
What's the Maguma doing?
Dying, currently. Being punched. Began raining blows onto the giant mammal's head, aiming to cave its skull in. Maguma howled in pain as it writhed and squirmed, trying to get the monster prince off of him. He passed.
He passed.
Wait, was that a pass to me?
Yes, it was a pass to you.
Oh, you said he passed. I thought that was the dialogue. I was like, that's not fair. By chance, the ice couldn't handle the By chance, the ice couldn't handle the combined weight of the two monsters, and it splintered, sending them plunging into the icy depths below. Both of them cried out as they hit the waters. This reads like a 5-year-old. Maguma managed to regain its senses faster, and turning around, darted away into the dark waters. So this is killing white waters. Junior shook his head as he looked around for his foe, his eyes able to pierce the darkness the water brought. Upon seeing no giant reptilian mammal walrus, Junior began to clamber back out of the water until Maguma swam forward and climbed down on Junior's tail, dragging the adolescent Godzilla back into the water. Junior flailed as he tried to claim his tail free, but Maguma only clamped down tighter. Finally, Junior grabbed his tail and ripped it out free, giving a mute cry of pain as the chunk was removed. Jesus, this reads like 2017 bacon. Godzilla Jr. quickly attempted to get out of the water again, back onto a more even playing ground. His regenerative powers already working on his poor tail. Junior managed to actually get above his ground this time. Okay, that read weird. Not being fooled again, Junior waited and watched Maguma's shadow under the ice as it approached the hole in the water. Just as the walrus jumped out, though, Junior wheeled around and caught the mighty beast with his bare claws, big meaty claws. Giving a bellying roar similar to his father's, Godzilla Jr. took a page out of his father's playbook and lifted Maguma high above his head, slamming the massive creature into the ice with a bellow. Maguma rose again as Junior's spines lit up and the walrus charged the prince of the monsters. Leaping up as Junior fired an atomic ray, sinking his tusk into his neck. That was 4. Maguma groaned as the... Okay. Maguma groaned as the atomic ray partially disintegrated its tusk, but the damage to Junior's throat was greater. In fact, the atomic ray ripped a hole through the neck wound, causing Junior to give a mangled roar of pain as it fell over on the ice and he blacked out in pain. After recovering from the assault, Maguma began dragging the unconscious prince back to the cave. She's going to Bill Cosby! Godzilla Jr. providing a much better meal than the seals he previously ate. Maguma managed to drag Junior's body into the cavern and bite down at his side. Pass.
Junior's eyes snapped open at this, and with an enraged roar, he fired off an atomic ray at Maguma, forcing the surprised walrus back against the cave walls and damaging his partially healed throat. Junior rose as Maguma did the same, and the two titans charged at one another, colliding in a test of strength. Maguma and Junior pushing at each other. Junior reared his head a bit and forced Maguma higher before clamping down on his fat neck. Shaking his head like a rabid dog, Maguma howled in pain and tried to push Junior away, but Junior only tightened his grip on Maguma's neck, spilling more of the walrus's blood. Maguma finally managed to bat Junior off, and seeing that it was now on the losing end of things, started retreating back to the cave's entrance. Junior gave a a renewed roar of fury, his dorsal spines lighting up and firing at the roof of the cave entrance, causing it to cave in and trap Maguma. Nowhere to run now. Maguma turned around as Junior reared his head back for another atomic ray. Deciding to try the same tactic, the giant mammal began charging at Godzilla Jr. Maguma again managed to tackle Junior as he fired his ray, sending the beam slamming into the roof. The impact assured snow, ice, and rocks to come tumbling down on both monsters as they continued their epic clash until they were buried in the cave-in. The battlefield grew quiet as the monsters' fight died down, the wind howling gently as seconds turned into minutes. Then an ear-splitting roar sounded out, followed by a bellowing one. The entrance to the cave exploded as Maguma and Junior come tumbling out.
Joe, don't say that on Kaiju X.
Oh no, I've been banned. Both smoking as Junior blew the entrance open. Both monsters, now charred and tired, stand and have a stare down, Maguma's neck still bleeding from Junior's previous attack. The two monsters roared at the same time and charged at one another. Only one of them will leave this place alive. Junior bends his neck, forcing Maguma's neck wound to open even more with his razor-sharp teeth, causing a strangled cry to come from the walrus's neck. Junior forced Maguma to the ground, keeping the wound open with his claws. As he roared to the sky, the smaller Godzilla's spines lit up, and he fired his atomic ray at the open wound. The blast exploded out the other side of Maguma's throat, finally killing the reptile once and for all. Godzilla Jr. roared in fury as his first terrestrial fight proved to be a success. Grunting, Maguma began dragging the dead Maguma off to another caves.
Wait, Maguma dragged the dead Maguma off?
Oh, yeah.
Dang, Maguma fought his inner demons.
Junior turned into a walrus.
Maguma killed the person that ruined his life and dragged off the corpse.
Oh, Junior just watched Maguma fight his inner demons.
Tusk. Grunting, Junior began dragging the dead Maguma off to another cave so the Prince of Monsters can feed on his prize. Then he died. Die.
Oh my goodness.
I believe that the match would not hold up to modern day standards.
Yes, you can tell this is an older one.
Yeah,
You sounded like Matt Pat when you said that.
Welcome to Game Theory. Bad writing.
So, game theory.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. That was the most match of all time.
Oh, yeah, no, this one definitely, much like Harley's 165, there's definitely, like, the age of it definitely shows. While I think it's not as, like, I think it's a little better than 165 just by virtue of, like, the scale not being, like, too insane. It's just basic fare. It is still, like, very repetitive with the name usage, and I feel like, it's definitely, like, early Harley writing for sure, and, definitely does not hold up to, like, the more modern standards given to, like, definitely, yeah, no, definitely, like, not up to modern standards. Well, maybe with a little bit of cleanup, it would have been okay, but...
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just, like, shows its age.
Yeah, its age is definitely there. It's there for everyone to see and read forever. So, yeah, no, it's, like, it's alright, but it's definitely just kind of, like, it's all right at best. it still definitely holds a lot of like grammatical. There are definitely a lot of grammar issues and like repetition in how things are described. I feel like there are definitely parts that could very very easily be improved upon, but I think it's otherwise a decent fight. Like I like one of the things I actually do like is like the times where Maguma's like swimming under the ice, breaking free.
Yeah,
or even,
that's
like,
good stuff.
It's got good like action beats to it, or Junior ripping off his own tail to get away, or even that kind of brutal ending. It's like, hey, that's good stuff. The actual like nature of the events are good. I think it just needs to be cleaned up to be executed better. But that's all that's all really.
Until you said those things, I genuinely forgot that those things happened in the match, even though we literally just read it.
Damn.
Agony. Joe, what are your thoughts?
It's okay.
We all give like professional thoughts. It's just it's all right.
It's all right.
It's okay. I like
Virgin 5 hour
it's one of
Virgin 5 hour video on reviewing a movie versus the chat. It's okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, it's just okay. It's an okay match. Hurley has done better.
Yes.
And we'll continue to do better for the most part. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, GVR, did you give your thoughts on it, or was it just kind of like,
Well, I just said like it hasn't aged the best, but it's still fine.
yeah, okay. But yeah, any other like the banner? Oh yeah, because I think I have an old, like a really old version of this banner. Hold on a minute, I knew I was forgetting something. Let's take a minute to go find.
The banner is okay.
Right. That's the banner made by Greyshot. But I made a banner for myself that, here it is. Wrap this bad boy.
Show it. Show the banner.
I'm working on it, Joe. I'm working on it. I'm working here. Right. There is, hang on. This is just for the people to see. That's like, here's the old version.
Not us.
Screw you.
Oh, I see how it is. We're not people. You can say that about Joe, but me, GVR, and Nagota, the fuck?
What?
There we go.
Okay.
Woman joke.
I kind of prefer the original banner.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It looks ugly. What you've posted.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, this was a good call on Greyshot's part. Yeah, this was, yeah, no, my Photoshop skills have definitely come a long way. That's for dang sure.
I'm fucking crying. So ugly. I'm fucking deceased.
I thought you were gonna say like, yeah, I made a new banner for like the HD remake when it gets to it. I was expecting quality, not.
No. This is the old one. This is like a super old version. Like Greyshot was like, no. So,
you made the right decision.
yeah, Greyshot made the right decision to basically remake it. His looks a million times better, comparatively speaking.
Breathe.
It looks ugly when you posted. So you're ending it Kajux's whole career.
My credibility.
Oh my god!
I'm so glad I remembered this banner existed.
Why does Maguma look like he's on crack?
It's just.
Junior,
There are no thoughts
Junior
behind
looks
those
like he's
eyes.
complaining. Junior looks like he's complaining to the Wendy's advisor.
That's how he always looks.
Fuck up, you stupid mammal.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's glorious. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the people had just enough of that one, so. Oh, good grief.
Oh, you're done recording?
No, not yet. Anyway, I hope everyone got a good laugh out of that one. So, anyway, this has been match 168, and we'll see you guys next time for match 169. Till then, everyone.
Bye.
We're getting to the sex number.